One thing that bothers me is the tiny offlane from Sand King Gómez. I don't like that. No, it's just.
Do you feel like you had enough reason to? Was the lane bad enough that you don't want to run tiny mid versus DK?
I don't think the lane is that bad. I think you're fine with tiny. You're not gonna own the DK or win the lane by any stretch, but you'll find your farm, and eventually it comes down to your rotations. Obviously, it's a bit easier for DK. He just pops his ulti and he takes down your tower, but I don't think that's the case. I think they just wanted a bit more control. They went for the Pango. And it's a good Pango game as well. You do have a Roar to worry about, but besides that, if you're not initiated on, you should be fine.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how much Dutra can get out on his tiny here. A little bit of a scuffle early on coming out. Arrow does not quite connect. So it's just a 2-for-2. Nothing too exciting coming out from that poking and prodding.
By the way,
I'm keen to see
John, looking at this Dragonite set, I love it, by the way. It's a silver worm. Looks really sick. Can you tell me when is the Dragon Blood 3 coming out? Or 4? I don't even know what season we're at.
I think we were on 3. I don't know if there's a 4. I know there were like 3 books planned. I don't know if there were more than 3 books planned. I haven't watched past book 1. I'll be fair to you.
You haven't?
I do not know why. I watched book 1 and I did enjoy book 1, but
I mean, look,
something about the ending got me. I'm not sure why.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're basically my friend once again. That was the trick question. Because I hate weebs.
I know you do. But I am still a weeb, unfortunately. I've got the avatar and all. Still take a look at the lane. We'll
don't ruin our love story now.
Top might be getting a little bit pokey. You see Duster falling a little bit low. Duster and Double King together, of course, up against 9 and Ducho on that Tiny Mirana. I mean, you do still run the Tiny Mirana. It doesn't feel great in the first few levels. Like, Duster can just easily run you down. Blightstone up, level 1 impetus. Ducho has no real play with the tree throw being leveled up at 1. So it's fairly easy to run down. And Nine's doing a great job of just poking Duster away, at least.
Look at this. They're even going for range. This is... Might even be almost a kill.
No.
If he saved...
Stun interrupts. Ooh.
If he saved the arrow, if he didn't use it immediately, if he waited for the avalanche, I think that's a kill for sure. And the way they play this lane is really good. They managed to really punish the Enchantress and the CK.
Yeah. And you're kind of running low now on Duster to maintain that impetus spam coming out. Look at the jump back. 1 impetus shot out. 9 does not have level 2, so no leap. Is dropping low. Fairy Fire is there.
Arrow as well.
Arrow does connect. Can they have the output for Double King, though? They will. 9
Deny?
still alive.
Oh my
jumps away.
God.
No! Oh, 9!
Nice.
He does it.
Nice.
He's a hero. He jumps in. He dies. He gets that kill. And that's everything you want. A bit of a reset, too.
I was praising them up to that point, but that point just won him an MVP on Mirana. Like... it was really well done. Plus the deny.
Yeah.
1 point.
The timing to get that level 2 up. Understanding how far they can push that lane. A pretty good, solid start for SKG so far. Still taking a peek at the other lanes down mid, of course. You've got Mark on the DK, Lund on that Pango. I mean, it's still a DK lane in the end. No matter who you match up against, it tends to just be this really static lane. And you are slightly ahead on Mark.
Don't you
just can kind of harass out?
Don't you just love buying a bracer and being a god? Untouchable.
Yeah. And do you remember the time when you'd stack more of them? Like double bracer and then really just nothing happens? Like, wow. Yeah. Peak gameplay.
Peak gameplay for Kunkka, for Tiny, for DK. Yeah, good times, good times. Not for Tiny, but for Kunkka and DK for sure, yeah.
For sure. It should be stable, not too much excitement there. Keen to see whether or not we get maybe support rotations out. I think that's where CDUB can really shine. You've got the Ench and the Primal Beast, which you can run down. Speaking of that Primal Beast, I mean, down bot is the double Beast lane, right? Beastmaster, Primal Beast for Isla and Sanctified up against Shido once more in the Slark and Yanbura on that Freedom Protector. You aren't really slowing the Slark, and you do go for the Axis build here for Isla, but that is one thing. Like, with the double melee lane, it does feel awkward to collapse. You are also against double melee, to be fair, but that is a Treant Protector and a Slark. Like the Treant Protector in particular with his right click is just a little bit threatening. I still feel like you could try to trample down. They'll just cut the trees with trample, so make it awkward for Jan Burra. But not really lining up for any shots here, I suppose.
Yeah, they have a ton of ways of killing the trees. Tramples, axes. So that's nice. You make the lane a little bit simpler for you, a little bit easier. They're going... I mean, this isn't a kill. This is just not a kill. You can hurt them, but you will not kill them. Trample. If you want to kill anyone, it needs to be the Beastmaster. You need to jump him instead.
Yeah, we'll try.
Trample.
Poking around. We've got the damage to try to run down Jan Burra, and they will find it with the axis, but Isla is sacrificed.
Maybe a second one.
Might find another one. The pounce does connect. 2 for Shido. So in the end, SKG, they come out on top. They're very happy with how their lanes are coming out here. Everything kind of lining up except for mid, but you know, even mid's not a direct loss for Lund. Yeah. So you've kind of repaired your issues from game 1. Much better laning phase. You're not getting crushed. You're getting some good farm. You're getting some good kills going your way. Shido already 2 stacks in permanent agi off that kind of play coming out from him. Gonna have the power treads up.
Tiny.
For the side of CDUB, it's a bit slower up top. They are trying to on to Dutra. Avalanche is out. Double King starting to drop low.
He's got 9 magic wand charges. They're not killing him, but they did get him a bit low.
Yeah. Just threatening a bit. Duster does come in with the impetus. It is level 1, out of mana now as well, but the Blightstone Twack still hurt 9 quite a fair bit, leaving 1 armor on Verana. Not the best feeling in the world. Again, 3 to 1. Pretty good for SKG so far. For CDUB, a lot slower this time around. So they're starting to collapse onto that mid a little bit. Roll up from Lund. The next 1 time and the 2nd time, but where's the follow-up?
Here comes the tree, but not really close enough.
Not quite. And doesn't snag away the rune either. So Mark has Arcane. I mean, he doesn't have the dragon form to repop, so no lower cooldown than that, but you know, snag the rune away, you snag that refill for Lund, and you can spam with your spells a little bit more. Be more annoying in the lane at least.
Yep. Mirana is rotating in to refill that bottle that you just mentioned, and I would really like to see Treant get some living armor a little bit earlier this game around. From this point onwards, I think you just max it out. Heal up versus the DK. It's always nice to slow that hero down. Like, nothing feels as bad as when you're playing these lane-dominating heroes that are supposed to take a tower and there's a tree just healing you up. Top lane, they're trying to go on Tiny, but they just don't have the firepower.
Nah, and they drag down quite a fair bit of HP. There is infused raindrops up on Dutra. They get some good poke, but not enough to really fully commit. And same thing still goes for Double King. 12 charges in the wand. Raindrops up, so you're probably not going to get a kill opportunity on the Tiny unless he severely misplays. So just going to be a bit static for now. As SKG hold on to that lead. You are still getting a really good time for Shido. Like, he is pretty much uncontested now up against Isla. A very different story for his Slark with his itemization and with his pacing. Like, he's going for, this time around, Echo Saber into the Diffusal into the Ags.
Yeah, a little bit.
For early aggression coming out.
Yeah, a little bit more active. Plus, you don't really need Mage Slayer this time around, so... Yeah, I can see that one working out well.
What can you do, man? What can you do, man? Unlucky.
Yeah. Just get aggressive early. Lots of supports collapsing onto the mid here from SKG. Mark, it's a harder target to pin down, but they'll try. They've got the bumps around. Sanctified just waiting.
Arrow, maybe?
On the high ground for maybe an onslaught. They get the arrow connection, but not a long one. As Mark, they sustain it. The damage is there from Sanctified with a roar out from Isla. Jan Burra forced the TP out to stomp us out. Tree for nothing.
Honestly, that's the most forced kill that I've ever seen them attempt so far. Like, and they attempted Dragonite earlier. Come on, guys. He has 1400 HP, Power Treads, Bracers, Magic Wand, Rolling Thunder plus Treant. There's just no damage between them. You're not killing him, and now you're losing a tower because of that. That's probably the worst moves they've made so far in the game.
And that gives a nice lead out for CDUB. I mean, you find that objective You're finding that early tempo. We talked about this lineup, Blizzard, and you mentioned it. They're monsters. They want to play early. The two beast guys come out with a dude who changed into a dragon, and you just take control. They are very durable. And the side of SKG, they don't respect that as much as they could, so they get punished on top of that. Still, your one benefit is Shido is pulling so far ahead that it's not even funny. Our Slark, 5k net worth, a full 1k above Isla. The Echo Saber is pretty much done.
Yeah, he's keeping...
Then that Fusel ramps up.
He's keeping the team in front. I'm worried about the Tiny, by the way. He's finding farm. He's finding something on the top lane. I'm just worried about the impact that the core Tiny on offlane has in a game such as this one. Like, let's say you get an early blink, right? Like, who are you jumping? You're playing versus Beast, Dragonite, Primal CK... Even the Enchantress, like there isn't, if she buys a raindrop, she probably isn't dying to the combo, right? So
yeah,
it's gonna be hard for him to make impact. Arrow?
The arrow mark again, but they learned their lesson. Just not worth it to try. We'll get the illusion rune out for Lund. You see, this is where I think, you know, like, if you just last pick something like a Timbersaw, then you wouldn't have any of those problems, at least. You would still need like a durability item, but hey, you rip strength heroes apart. Yeah. That's literally 4 strength heroes, but you know, we'll see.
I agree completely. I think that your Timber call was, in my opinion, at least a much better pick than, what did they last, Pango? Pango does bring them more control, so maybe it will work, we'll see.
I think they were just maybe a little bit worried about that lack of team. Like when you can connect that roller with Overgrowth, that's where things start to feel a little bit better for the side of SKG. The blink timing has to come out here for Ducho as well, which it's still a ways off. So that stalled out timing will provide a lot of room for that side of CDUB. Like they've got some stacks right now under Triangle. There is a block on large camp at the least. So it's not the worst thing in the world right now for SKG. They'll only have the Ancients, but the Ancients are really all you want anyway, and they are feeding that to Isla. So that's going to be an earlier Dominator timing, or Overlord time for them.
Duster. Level 10 Slark. I think he can kill an Ench.
Yeah, chasing down, finds a freebie for himself. 3-0 right now, and that's Slark. 3 of the kills. Of the 4 kills on SKG just all being on the Slark, so an amazing game for him so far.
Ah, boy has an Echo Saber and almost a Diffusal. He's scary.
Yeah, he's a one fat fish. That's a very fat slice of tuna you're cutting into right now on that Slark.
Do you think that it's interesting how they didn't manage to defend the top tier 1 for a bit longer on Dire?
Yeah, I think it's a bit
double king
odd as double. Oh well, they do miss the arrows, so no kill coming out. The roller was committing on Lund as well, and he has a DD ready to go. Unfortunate timing, but
what do you
sometimes you just miss out.
What do you think? Where does the double king come from? Like the name. Why is he double the king? Did you ever have the ice cream called King? Do you have that?
I'm trying to think. I think
on a stick.
So.
Yeah.
I think so. I forget.
Whenever I see the CK, I remember double chocolate king. Tasty.
Maybe he just loves that ice cream, you know?
Maybe.
I can't fault him. King's ice cream is pretty good. Although I'm not sure if it's the same King's, because I know... I think it was in Singapore. In the Philippines, it's called Selecta. In Singapore, I think it was called King's. They had the same logo, like some heart.
Yeah. It's like a heart
thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
For some reason, it's a different name in the Philippines, but yes, the ice cream. Ice cream is always good. And double for that for King. Double chocolate for King.
Now I want ice cream. Why do you talk about ice cream, John?
You talked about ice cream, Lizard. You have no one to blame but yourself. This jump sanctified a freebie for Shido. They are feeding the Slark here, man. They're feeding the fishes. There's a sign. There should be a sign here that says, don't feed the fishes.
Yeah, the fishes are gonna bite back. This is one... I don't know. He was exposed to some radiation, this fish. He has evolved.
Yeah, he's a bit bitey. He's already got the diffusal up. It's diffusal echo power treads at 14 with 8 800 in the bank going into the Ags. That's kind of sickening timing. Like, they have placed Dutra down, but they compensate with Shido.
Yep.
And it's still awkward, but you will have Tiny blink up soon. So a bit slower timing from the offlane, but it'll still come true. And for the side of CDUB, in this lineup, we expect it to push a little bit more. They find mid. They're not really sieging bot. They're not really focusing on bot at all. Like, Shido is just free to play his game.
I think it's about Mark. It's about your mid lane. Your mid lane bottom Midas. I don't mind Midas Dragonite, by the way. You scale really damn well. My only problem is I can't say for sure that the Dragonite scaling that well in a game such as this one will win the game. Sometimes you get that Black Dragon form, level 18, and you're just winning, right? No matter what. It just feels too good with the Manta. You're playing into a Slark. Every time he hits you, he also takes your HP, your strength.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel like the most amazing. But then again, I suppose with how passive they're playing on CDUB, if he went for that early blink he queued up earlier, they might even...
punish them,
he
right?
might force them to make a play, but they're not willing to group up right now. SKG though, they're willing to group up. Smoke up here. They've got that fresh blink on Dutra. You just need to find the angle in. Duster's there to break. Has the sentry as well. The fusel's there, simple kill. Shido picks up another. They will be able to retreat though, but Avalanche Arrow does not connect. Gets caught in the bore. But they will still keep that jump. Good rollout from Lund. Overgrowth on top as well. Mark TP'd into this mess. Is starting to get ripped apart. No mana on that DK, but Shido doesn't have the HP to sustain through. The Avalanche is there to save for a little bit of time. Lund has a shield. Crash is forced back. Still rips apart
nice
the DK.
play from him. Can they get anything
still
more?
Lose the Pangolier. And Shido still trying to run. Brought back with the Reality Rift. Not that durable on the Slark right now. The trample is enough. So some punishment out from CDUB.
It was a little bit too deep. They're diving. Not only that it's deep, you're using your Rolling Thunder very early on, and then you're also using Shadow Dance, right? So both of your main abilities on your team have been spent to kill off Beastmaster and the Dragonite. So afterwards, Slark is just easy game for the CK to get picked off by him, by Primal Beast. Still though, I don't think that it's very bad for Sand King Gómez. It's just that it wasn't really that necessary to overcommit. Slark is still not in that level in which he has 2 pounces with the Aghanims and he can just do whatever in and out of fights.
Yeah, you still have to respect the side of CDUB a little bit more. But overall, you're not hurting for too much here on the side of SKG.
Mark?
2k lead coming out from CDUB now. Mark. Getting poked a little. There's the blink reveal out from Lund. You get the control and the stomp forward into the roll though. And you are stuck in an awkward spot for Sanctified. Another freebie coming up for Shido. No, 9 takes it. The roar is out. Onto the Slark though. Shido being chain stunned. What a Chaos Bolt as well. So you find 2, but you lose your Slark. Good punish from CDUB.
Good job by them. Managing to take off Slark once again. He is getting closer to the Aghanims, by the way. He bought that item just before he died, I believe. Meanwhile, Lund was just like, oh, hi, Mark. Goes in with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Mark's just standing there. You know, Lund comes in saying, I did not hit her. I did not hit. It's not true. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh. Gets bonked. Good old Mark.
Anyway.
Mark. He was just there on the rooftop, chilling. You ever watch that full film, Lizard?
What do you mean? I watched it like 20 times, dude.
Yes, it's a beautiful film, isn't it? A great film. Did you ever go to a movie screening where they threw the spoons at the cinema? It was a very American thing, I think, but I always wanted to experience that. This is something that SKG might not want to experience. The blink being up on Mark. Jumps onto 9. He's the one saying hi now. They rip 9 apart.
Mark is back and he's angry.
Yep. He's feeling it. And they've pretty much got that aggressive tempo now on CDUB, right? Overlord up and running on Isla. You've got the blink on your DK. You've got the drums on Sanctified going on to BKB. They do find Jan Bura down bot as well, and Double King. I mean, he's hitting like Turk. He's also going to have Blink. So you have this high momentum, high tempo coming out from CDUB. Whereas for SKG, I mean, they force an issue early on, back to back. They will have Ags on Shido soon, but they'll try to smoke out here.
Was it under
Can
reward?
they catch
It
the
was,
big
right?
target they want?
Double King knows.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it was. It was. He's backing off. Still trying to chase, but the Axe isn't up on Shido yet. He does get the inhibit, and they get the roll as well. Toss up, avalanche down. They find a big one.
They found a big one, but still, if you look at CDUB, they're not really losing map control or farm because of that. They're still all over the map, just farming up. I like that Stark is itemizing a bit differently. I'm not sure if Lincoln's is necessarily the best option here. I'd still maybe rather have a BKB. But okay, Lincoln's is also solid. They have Dragon Tail, they have Roar, they have stun from CK, ulti from Primal Beast, a lot of things that you worry about. So because of that, I thought maybe a BKB would be better. But you're a Slark, you have other ways to deal with. You can buy a shard, right?
Yeah, you have options here. I think it's mainly just, again, just what Worry would say. Roar, they find another target to inhibit. Duster starting to drop a bit low. Arrow does not connect. The Roar is out onto Yanbura as well, and the stomp forward from Sanctified into the Pulverize. They find that Treant.
CK's coming.
Shido's still going. They're out of mana now. Shido's starting to melt down Isla, but can he really find his kill by himself? Doesn't look like it. Forced to stomp his way out. As the blink forward, the stun's out, they get the control. The damage is coming onto Shido. He doesn't have his ult, but the roll from Lund saving the day for now. They're actually starting to drop low. Double King, not in the healthy spot, does fall down in the end, and now Mark cannot bail. The arrow connects onto Duster. The avalanche toss from Ducho, and what looked a bit messy works out in the end for SKG.
Yeah, Beast TP is
They want
bottom.
to find Sanctified. Can they? Blink almost up. TP out. Should save. The blink from Dutra just a little bit too late. So good turnaround from SKG. 3 for 1 really in the Treant.
Yeah, did you see what was just...
Drag the game back.
Yeah, they played that fight well. It was mostly on the Tiny, right? Like he blocked CK from getting to the fight very early on, and then later on he also broke them with the Avalanche, saved the Slark. But realistically, there's an item that's winning these fights, and that's Mirana's Vessel. Like, this man with the Vessel is just doing way too much damage. All of these strength cores, they're being destroyed. And Vessel isn't necessarily the most popular item right now, but in this game, my god, does it hurt.
Super high value in this game. You cancel off the Enchantress healing with Natures, so these big strength heroes just can't stand their ground. You soften up the DK, you just make it easier to handle all of these heroes. And SKG, and they're starting to hit their stride. Like, they've got this Basher on Lund, and this double defusal from SKG as well. Just so much control. They'll find Duster, no problem. And again, I think one thing that makes this game so hard for CDUB is just this double defusal. When Shido's on you and one Swash comes out, you lose your mana. You don't have huge pools on all of these strength heroes, so you don't really have any spells to cast sometimes. It makes it really hard to play the game. We try again with a roll. Blink forward from Lund. Arrow does not connect to anyone, but they're still keeping that chase. Moonlight Shadow's out to try to bail. They'll find Isla anyway. Here comes the Pulverize out onto Lund. So they'll find a trade in exchange. They do force a BKB out, though. Double King gonna be down of that one tool.
That's the biggest.
Not too bad of a trade.
Yeah, that's probably what makes it a win. If not for the BKB charge, that's probably a blunder. You're trading mid for the offlane, even though the Beastmaster actually has more net worth anyway. Yeah,
I think it does make it a little bit tougher now to re-engage down the line for Double King. Look, 1 second off the BKB. Sounds small, but it always is a lot more significant than you think, especially once you tick down towards 7, towards 6, and it feels a little bit more awkward. CDUB though, and they're forming up onto the Roche. They've got the Thunderhide creep, so they can speed this one up, and they will catch out our sneaky Treant.
But you're defending this, right? If you're Radiant,
yeah,
you must be defending this. You have Pango.
Yeah, you've got the roll in a few seconds. You've got the Blink Avalanche toss. They are in position. Ducho is on the back flank here. You just need to time that rollout, but They are playing rather safe. It's not the quickest just yet from CDUB. SKG still hanging around the area.
Tiny from the back.
The illusions. Yeah, they're trying to run him down. Avalanche does cut them off. And Roshan's not being fully committed now, just from that little movement out. And still slowly falling. They'll smoke out on CDUB first.
This is a good smoke.
They're going into the high ground. They jump the treant. They take out Yanbura. So no overgrowth here.
Rolling
the
thunder.
roll from Lundo, pinning down 2. The roar is there. BKBs are being popped. Shido just trying to get what he can. Lund starting to drop very low. Pulverize onto Ducho on the side.
Slark is gone.
They managed to pin down to Slark. Just melts in the middle of all of that damage. And that's going to be your roll down. Buyback on Yanbura.
That's it. That's.
But the Roshan's fully open.
Yeah, free Rosh for them as well. Yeah, like you just don't have the damage to take down these beasts.
No.
You go in, you saw what the fight was very hectic, and good job on CDUB for recognizing they can't just force the issue. Instead, they smoke up, they find the fight, and then they go into the pit. That was really nicely done by them. But my man Slark, you need to chill out a bit. That was, yeah, that jump was rough.
Yeah, a little bit optimistic. They do have output. You're not at that point where it's Slark where, you know, you're super fat. You've got the threatening essence shift lasting that long yet. That's still your 25 timing where you can really take these super long fights. They'll try again. They get the roll. They find Mark. Does pop his BKB though. And the turn is here. The heroes are starting to collapse in. Dutra just TPing out with his own BKB. And the roll not going to lead to much as they charge forward with Sanctified. Not going to find Yanbura. They will more than likely find his objective though. It's getting a little bit awkward for SKG. Fortify will stall out and they arrow the siege.
Do you think that do you think that this Lincolns will change the game? Right, they're buying it on Slark. They have a Basher, I suppose, already on Pango. But I just don't see the Lincolns being that massive.
Yeah. I don't see it being massive either. Maybe if you play your cards right, you block one spell, then instantly, you know, either channel up your Dark Pact or go into your ult. Then that's where the stall game comes out. It still feels pretty hard if CDUB throws everything they have at you. Still, Dragon Tail already blocked, but he can't hold up front. Yanbura under observing sentry, but the good avalanche breaking them up.
Slark
just no overgrowth to come through with Yanbura gone, and Shido can't find anyone.
I love how
they go on the retreat.
I love how they're trying to Zerg around him every time he goes in. Like every time he goes in with the Slark, they're trying to move in a circle around him. Pango.
Oh,
Slark has no ult.
Lund wants to go in. They get the roar off onto Lund, and that will cut him off. Side of CDUB does back off. SKG, and a little bit shaky in these fights. Just not clean. They keep losing Yanbura early on. This blink timing for the treant delayed. He's not able to use overgrowth to help his team out. Now CDUB, they've got a little bit of a smoke out. Maybe they can try to circle around. Is a little bit tough with no mana on hand though.
By the way, the Lincolns definitely did shine in the last engagement, right? I guess if they're initiating on you and you have BKB, it doesn't really help. But if you have Lincolns, you'll be able to just at least use your ulti or Dark Pact afterwards.
Yeah. Shido just going ham by himself. 4 stabs do save him away from this menacing Slark. He can't really do as much here. 16-16 with a 4K lead. A rather even game still. But it does feel like CDUB has been finding more as they have managed to hit their stride with their lineup. If you're SKG, like, how do you correct at this point forward? How do you start? How long do you have to wait? Is there any item timings that help you out here?
Maybe this DD helps. DK is just running out. He used a nice scan, and he's almost going to have Aghanims. I feel like that Aghanims on DK probably changes more in CDUB's favor than anything that SKG get at this timing. Like, look at their items, right? The Aghanims on Pango is probably the biggest one, but he might be slowed down. Oh, blink.
Ooh. And should blink out. Moonlight Shadows there as well, but there's the Dusk. Really long stun on Lund. Can't get the roll up. Shido is trying to find someone to kill off. The toss is out, but BKB saving. Roar and Ducho, he'll still manage to get out, but they don't find punishment here from SKG.
No shards from Slark there to save his teammate. He has it queued up. It's gonna be there in 200 gold. Maybe that changes things a little bit in these engagements, but overall, when I look at items, it just strikes me that CDUB are the ones that are going to benefit more from the things that they're getting.
Yeah, and this is off the back of, again, very free lane for Shida, pretty strong lanes overall for SKG. And they just take a couple of really forced fights mid. You know, they trade back and forth a little bit awkwardly. And CDUB just come back online. Like, they're just so aggressive with this lineup. There's just so much coming out, so much damage. They sustain really well. Double King, despite being behind the Slark, he has so much more output. Like, your solutions to the Phantasm is mainly really just your Pangolier, and it doesn't feel like Lund is safe enough to just constantly swash and, you know, kind of clear that out. Like, with the Ags on Pango, perhaps, with those swashes on the roll, they do at least manage to wait for Aegis to expire without losing too much on SKG. So they're holding on quite alright, considering game state.
Yeah, I guess the problem is, what's the difference between a DK and a Slark in this game, right? Like, if a DK is holding his ground and just spamming right clicks, he doesn't really have to worry about being blown from 100 to 0. Meanwhile, Slark, if he eats one stun without the Linkens, he's probably dying too. There's Roar, there's DK stun, there's Primal Beast, there's CK, and they're reserving everything for him. So it's a bit more difficult for Slark to stand his ground and just right click.
Yeah, it's not as easy this time for Shido. And at least maybe until he gets some coverage from someone else. Let's see if that's something SKG can force out at some point. Side of CDUB though, I mean, they just feel great. Like, they've got their BKBs are down to 6 seconds on most heroes. Mark still has us at 8, but for the most part, starting to whittle down. Double King at 7 as well. I think the BKBs are one big thing as well that hinder SKG. Like, you're relying on Avalanche Toss, you're relying on the roll with the BKBs flying through. Only Jan Burr is the solution, and he's been dying so often that I don't think we've even seen Overgrowth in the middle of these fights. He does have his blink up now.
Maybe one Overgrowth total so far.
Yeah, like, with a blink, this should be a little bit more consistent. So that's that. I think that's one thing we need to see out from SKG. Just be able to use the Overgrowth to set up.
Look at the drawing, by the way. It's so on point from 9. They drew exactly where they are, smoked up exactly how they should move. I just love this from these two teams. Their movements on the map are actually like really damn solid. And the smoke in return, yeah.
Can you find the angle? I'm not sure if they smoked under Hawk Vision here from the side of SKG. See it holding the ground. Might bait them in. Instant blink forward. The stun doesn't quite connect. The arrow does. But they back off in time from the side of CDUB, so nothing too big expended outside of the Dragon form. That is a maxed out Dragon form along with the Ags, so the full Ancient Black Dragon is up in play. This is where that DK is scary.
Yeah, he's scary. At this point, I don't think he cares way too much that he popped the Dragon form, right? Like, he is... The cooldown is not really that long, and they're forcing the high ground. Why the hell not? They know Rosh isn't up.
We'll just poke and prod. Shido just inhibits the Ancient Creep. Not going to be able to find that full pick off. But they know they can't really chase into that triangle area.
The point of that push right there wasn't really to take the side. You know you can't do that. The point was to take them away from that good position where they were at, next to Rosh Pit. It's something the teams struggle with. Most Division 2 teams that I'm watching fall apart in this situation if they're CDUB, because they don't really know what to do with the advantage. They kind of wait around the triangle, then scatter across the map, or try to go all in on the high ground and get punished. This time around, the push, you know they have no TPs, but you have to be careful when it comes to the high ground.
Yeah. They're going for a fairly safe push, a good flank coming out though. Shido trying to get some control, does manage to get the pounce, but not for long. Does still have his ultimate. A good overgrowth, but where's the follow-through? The BKBs are still running. And it still gets popped. Pulverized out onto the Treant. They can't really pin anyone down. Rollet's already gone. The Roar is up. And that is a fast melting Slark now. Shido, he's getting cooked up after being fattened up in the lanes. So keeping that pressure onto Dutra. Nice reality rift back onto Lund. Still has to squash out, but Dutra is set to fall. And that's going to be at least one set of racks coming out for the side of CDUB. They can dip into the Roche as well if they wanted to, but it looks like they'll gun for another set of racks, no problem.
There's just no damage. Like, they honestly just don't have enough damage to take down anyone on CDUB. It's as simple as that. This offlane Tiny is building into an Aghanims right now. No, I'm not impressed. No, not by his performance. He had good plays. It's just that the hero isn't giving you a lot.
It certainly isn't. Like, even if he hits this Ags, it does feel like Tiny needs, like, what, Daedalus to be up? They get the roll out on Lund, connects in a lot of heroes to force a buyback out onto Ducho. Can they find anything on CDUB, though? It still doesn't feel like they can. Ducho does manage to get a big toss back. They do get the CK kill. Yeah. That's a target they need to take out. Still trying to run. Good stuns coming out onto the Primal Beast as well. The Roar is up to stall, and they will find our Treant Protector, Yanbura. When Mark should be safe. Bash again from Lund on demand. Another bash on the shield crash, and Mark. Arrow does not connect. BKB forced out. He gets bashed again. Lund.
9 is dying
every
to
time. This guy's just blessed. 9 will fall to creeps. It is an annoying creep with a purge, I guess, being held back there, but they find the big ones on that defense. CDUB, they still have the map advantage, but SKG, they've got fight left in them.
They got a bit of fight, yeah. Rolling Thunder here as well against Enchantress maybe will be used. Maybe not.
Looking for more.
Can't really kill him. You could go into the pit right now, but you don't really take it fast. With the Slark, with the Pango, yeah, there's a little bit of minus armor coming from Pango, but overall nothing too significant. I think if you're CDUB, you can definitely get here on time.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the creeps watching as well, so they should be able to run their way down. Hawk Vision out. They'll try. Just jumping forward, but 4 stabs just ruin the Slark's time and getting some easy pickoffs.
What can you do?
Not going to be able to find anything. There's that full Ags up on Dutro. So the tree volley's ready, but again, without something like a Daedalus, the damage doesn't feel amazing. It's physical. They're really tanky on the side of CDUB with a pretty decent amount of EHP. So I don't think you're going to be able to burst anyone down with that kind of play just yet.
Yeah, I completely agree. It helps out a little bit, but I don't think it changes the state of the game massively. There may be some crazy overgrowth into Rolling Thunder with that tags, and then you use 3 volley. Maybe that will make a difference. But really, if you're SKG, everything needs to be pitch perfect for you to take these fights. If you're CDUB, just pop those ultis, BKBs, and right-click at them. That's it, you know, it just feels much easier.
Yeah, so much more forgiving, much more straightforward for the side of CDUB. Shido, farming fairly forward here. Smoke out from CDUB. Tried to find something, but Shido senses something's wrong. Backs out in the nick of time here. Will they force it onto the high ground? Nah, CDUB plays it patiently. Goes back to farming. And just maybe wait around Roche. Mark does pop his ult though. They got the stun off. He blinks onto the high ground. Tries to clear out Yanbura, and they will find that Treant kill once more. Buyback forced out. Arrow connects. The roll is here, but the roar is there onto Lund. He's still alive though. They're jumping in. These are starting to get really messy. Avalanche toss. The BKBs are starting to save. Shido is racking up the stacks. Can the damage come through? The overgrowth's there finally, and Shido finds a kill onto Mark. All kind of isolated one by one. They popped all their spells. The BKBs are gone, and this is where the Slark shines as Double King starts to melt. All of these heroes falling with no buyback. Sanctified has to bail. Arrow does not connect. Can they get the root with Yanbura? Nah. They will get the slow end. Okay, the damage from that Ags is not insignificant from Dutra.
And Shido just knows what's up. Straight into the pit with all the damage. Edgy stolen. Okay, color me shocked and impressed. SKG, they make it work. Meanwhile, CDUB, they kind of do the same thing they did in the last game, right? They ignored the Slark a little bit too much. He racks up the stacks.
Yeah. It felt like they committed a little bit too hard onto Lund and Yanbura, right? Like they take out the Treant, they get the Roar onto Lund, but with the itemization of Shido, once at least one of those big AoEs, one of those big holds are gone, then you're kind of free on the Slark to run around. He has his own BKB.
Yeah, like I said,
so once the Roar is committed, you're safe.
Before, they would always use all their catch and instantly destroy the Slark, but they didn't do it at all this time around. And there's also 4 staff, there's Lotus Orb from Mirana, like 9 is on point with all the items, like he's helping, he's saving Isla, bottom lane.
Oh, Isla. Yeah, a little bit forward, does blink away in the nick of time.
Why did Lund hit the Hawk? I think that was like a misclick, right? It has to be.
Yeah. Kind of told him to back off there.
Mark?
Let's see. Shido's by himself. The Lincolns does pop, but he does manage to get his ult off. Trying to jump forward, really wants Double King. His stacks are building up, and they might be able to find this. Double King does get killed off by the toss. The Overgrowth's great as well, as they're keeping that chase going.
Mark is next.
Stuck in the back by himself. Does have the free patting from Black Dragon for him. Should be able to bail out. Still, Ducho gets the avalanche, gets a tree tosses out, and the damage again, it's actually not too bad. Mark starting to melt. The bashes are out. Mark falling. That Spirit Vessel doing so much work. They find another is sanctified. They want that kill. Another bash out from Lund. The jump forward. The Ogre Seal Totem.
They're just
stunning them in the path. And they're all melting from the output on SKG. And SKG. And they go take this fight into the Roche. And again, CDUB just not ready. Like they don't get the chain stunts, and the Slark is just free to land. Shido again. He's making stuff happen.
The idea was correct this time around, right? Like, because they did go on Shido, it's just that they didn't really commit properly. They couldn't catch him because of the link ends. He uses the Depth Shroud, then afterwards the Shadow Dance. He's going for Throne. I mean, this is actually doable.
Yeah. Just try to win right now. It's been a lot of back and forth. There are no buybacks except for the Primal Beast. Respawns are fairly short, but that's half a minute without the DK.
Okay. They'll probably
trying to be annoying.
Yeah, they'll back out. They'll put some respect on CDUB and what they can accomplish with 3 heroes. Yeah, you probably. I'm not sure. Like that would have been fun if they continued hitting it, right? Because you don't really want to fight versus Slark hero by hero, as even though you're poking him, you're actually giving him stacks, so he's becoming stronger as your heroes are coming online. So maybe SKG could have even done something there, but it was risky.
I think the issue for SKG was that you didn't have 25 for Shido until now. So now he's going to be feeling more confident to try to go for those plays. Bash out onto Isla. Immediate Dark Pact though, just to stay safe. They get the control onto Mark. BKBs are back up though. Shido playing really risky. The Overgrowth doesn't manage to clip everyone, but they get this control in the back line. Double King's gone. No buyback still in that CK. No buyback on Mark as well. They're melting. They force that fight onto CDUB and they're just getting dived by Shido.
Yeah,
they called the GG. What?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
That is just brutal.
That went from 0 to 100 for SKG. Just because of that one fight around Roche, right? Around I don't know.